Moskowitz.
Give it up for your host, everybody. My name is John Moskowitz. I consider myself to be the Batman of comedy. Because like Batman, I too am trying to overcome a lack of natural talent, using nothing but pure obsession and my parents' financial resources. I'm actually more like the Aquaman of comedy, because like Aquaman, none of you ever actually wanted to see me in a movie. I'm actually more like the Captain America of comedy, because like Captain America, my story also could have ended in 1940s Germany. I am Jewish. A lot of people don't realize this. You actually still need a stage name as a Jew in show business. Mine's John Moskowitz, which is extremely Jewy, but it's nothing compared to my real name, which is actually Jesus Christ. I'll say this as a Semite. No Jew camps are good. Not the ones they ran, not the ones we run. None of them are good. I went to Jewish sleepaway camp for 9 years. Thank you. So you probably noticed the whole point of it is to make more of us to make up for the Holocaust. And the way they do this is they run camps for 9-year-olds, which everyone's just okay with. I just remember being a little kid and they're like, "Hey John, you should go ask this Jewish girl out." And I'm just like, "I just learned what basketball is. I'd like to focus on that for a while." And they're like, "But you got to continue our race." And I'm just like, "I'm 10, you know." There were some great memories from camp though. The food was terrible, and the counselors would try to make it up to us by buying cheeseburgers from McDonald's. But then they realized they didn't make enough money to buy us all cheeseburgers. So what they started doing is they'd buy one for the entire cabin, and they would throw it in the bunk at 4 in the morning, yelling the words, "Hunger Games!" And that's when you discover the most resourceful Jew. There was 2 types who ever had a shot at the burger. There was the smart Jew, which you all think is all of us, but no, I'm right here. And then there's the strong Jew, which none of you think exists, but it's just a normal Italian man. And I'll fall for the burger. I feel like I'm probably not what you would really call straight, but I'm not gay or queer enough to associate with it, right? I'll put it this way. I would never have sex with a man for the same reason I would never go snowboarding, which is that I already know how to ski. And I don't want to start on the bunny hill again. I'm already at the top of the mountain. The last thing I need is a different board. Seems wasteful. It's the same way I feel about butt stuff as a whole, right? That pun was not intended. Because I love it in theory, but then in actuality it just hurts a little bit. And I asked my friend about this, and she's like, "Oh, that's because you need to practice butt stuff." Which, no, I don't. I have other stuff going on. I don't need to spend my time trying to find a second way to come. You don't even get to come extra times. If you got to do that, I'd be all in. But it just seems wasteful at this point. My girlfriend's way more adventurous than I am. The other day we were laying in bed and she started playing with my nipples, and I flinched because I'm not broken. And she was like, "Well, not all guys I've been with have such sensitive nipples." Which, why is that the thing that made me jealous? Like, who are these guys with these masculine nipples? The kind of nipples that could change a tire. Sort of nipples you would trust to raise your kids. Also, with her adventurousness, we've recently been having threesomes because she's bisexual and kind enough not to cheat on me. In these situations, I feel like a small Caribbean nation at the Winter Olympics. just as surprised as I am happy to be there. I'm not going to do well in any particular event. And a Swedish person receives gold. It was cool. It's the best relationship I've ever been in by far. It's by far the best relationship I've ever been in. Because I have mostly dated crazier women. And I know it's weird saying that on stage, because usually when a guy says that, he's just talking about a girl who is smart enough to leave. That's not what I meant. And what guys always say too is they're always like, well, crazy girls could fuck, which is not what it is. I think the way it works is when anyone sleeps with someone who's hot and crazy, it brings out the best in you sexually. Because you're attracted to them, so you're fully excited. But they're crazy, so it's going to take longer for you to finish because your body knows not to make more of them. I am originally from Brooklyn, New York, and I recently moved back home. I was living in LA for a little bit, and my parents were really worried for me, and they're like, you gotta be prepared for the homeless population out there. As if we don't have one in New York. It's like, Mom, you sent me alone on the subway in 4th grade. You've been preparing me for this my entire life. Because it's true, LA does have the highest homeless population, because it also has the highest homeless quality of life that I've ever seen. Like, every house in New York City is now worth at least $1 million, and they're all smaller than every tent on Venice Beach. Significantly. Like, I'm not going to say that LA is nice to poor people, and I don't know how Boston is, but it's much nicer than New York is. Because every fast food restaurant there has a giant sign that says, we accept EBT. In New York, you're not even allowed to serve hot food on food stamps. They're just like, look, you can have your bacon, egg, and cheese, but it's going to have to sit here 15 minutes. That's what you get for sucking on the teat of the government. Welcome to New York. That is great. I didn't grow up in the Brooklyn that people know. People know Biggie Brooklyn and Mafia Brooklyn. And I grew up in this neighborhood called Park Slope, where we still had bullies. It's just their names were Axel and Jupiter. And like Jupiter would call you gay, but it was only because his moms were really upset that he was straight. It was like growing up there. Alright, we're gonna get a little personal here. Alright, you're right. This is why I do this. I have 8 diagnosed learning disabilities. It's true. I don't even necessarily believe all of that stuff though. I think my whole generation really is a bunch of kids who suffer from depression and instead get diagnosed with ADD. So we give out Adderall and Ritalin, and now we just have all these extremely focused, suicidal kids. They will complete the task. I just wish the ads for these drugs were more honest. I used to stay in bed all day, every day. But since my doctor prescribed me Adderall, I'm out here at 8:30 in the morning on the top of this bridge. Not only do I have 8 diagnosed learning disabilities, I actually used to work in a school. I taught children. It was ridiculous. I was terrified of all the little girls at my job, because little girls know everything about you right away. These girls, they came up to me, I'd never met them before. First thing they said, who's your mom? What? How did you know that's how I got this job? I actually think that my learning disabilities helped me teach them, because I was more patient with the kids who needed it. But when a kid came up to me and they were like, Mr. John, the work's too easy for me. I was like, okay, I get it. You think you're better than me, Kyle. Ew, I'm Kyle and I get long division. Ew, I'm Kyle and my shoes stay tied. Ew, I'm Kyle and I'm gonna make like $100 one day. They think it's so much money. Ew, I'm Kyle. I'm Kyle and my mom's genuinely proud of me. Ew, I'm Kyle and it's not weird that she still does my laundry. Ew, I'm Kyle and I'm me. I'm not gonna live with the girl for 2 years just because she took my virginity. Yippee-ki-yay, fuck! I'm Kyle. I've been Joe Moskowitz, everyone. Thank you so much.